Good evening. The First Minister is warning ScotRail's operators Abellio that their contract to run services could be cut short. Amid a day of disruption for people on the railways, Nicola Sturgeon says the government is keeping under review its options to break the current franchise agreement. And that could mean returning the service to the public sector. Our reporter Aileen Clark is at ScotRail's signalling centre in North Glasgow. Aileen.
Well, the signalling centre is just over there. The main Glasgow to Edinburgh rail line is just behind me, and trains are passing us fairly frequently now. So that signals that actually things are starting to get back to normal. But this morning there was chaos for commuters, and as Brian Taylor reports, a massive row has erupted after what ScotRail say was the worst kind of breakdown in the worst place at the worst time.
It started here. A train broke down at a narrow junction near the main Waverley station in Edinburgh. Its brakes locked, preventing easy removal. That one incident, at a crucial point in the network, ended up causing problems across much of Scotland, as the delays compounded. Since last year, ScotRail services have been run by the Dutch company Abellio. The train company said the breakdown timing and location were the worst possible combination. Tell me about it, say passengers.
An absolute shambles. An absolute joke. Like what? We've been on the train for over 3 hours.
Talk me through it. Where were you coming from?
Livingston South.
Right.
So it's taken 2.5 hours to get here. But we better go because we're very late for work.
We was told to get off in Pullman and we just had to stand there. No one told us what was going on. We were told there was replacement bus services that never came.
And we spoke to one man who was on the broken down train.
Ultimately, I think about 8:30, we were asked to move through the front two carriages, which were I think they were decoupled from the rest of the train, and they managed to move us on at low speed.
How was Haymarket when you arrived?
Haymarket was like a scene from a zombie movie. There was a lot of very unfortunate people there, clearly being held up and not quite sure what was going on.
Arriving on time at Holyrood, the First Minister faced angry demands from Labour's Kezia Dugdale.
Passengers deserve better, and it is this government's responsibility to fix it. How bad does it have to get before the First Minister steps in and sorts out this mess?
First Minister.
There are options for the contract to be broken early, and we will keep that option under review. Thanks to pressure of this government, in future we will also have the option of having a public sector organisation bid for the rail franchise, and I think that is a step forward after Labour, for 13 years in government, refusing to give us the power to do that.
In effect, that puts Abellio on notice: improve or else. The contract runs for 10 years to 2025. But there's a mid-term review and the contract could be halted early, depending on performance. The Abellio contract requires them to run trains to 91.3% punctuality. That's arriving within 5 minutes of schedule. They're currently achieving around 89%, meaning must do better. The 10-year contract could be terminated early if that drops to 84.3% for 3 months in a row. Nicola Sturgeon stressed it would be wrong to judge an entire service by a single incident, however bad. But she has also insisted there are options, including public ownership, and she's ready to act if necessary. Brian Taylor, reporting Scotland.
Well, with me here, I've got Phil Verster from the ScotRail Alliance. This was not your finest hour, it's fair to say. People stuck on trains for double, sometimes triple the time it should have taken them to get to their work this morning.
Can I unreservedly make a personal apology to all of our customers that were affected by the disruption at Waverley this morning. There are 4 lines travelling in and out of Waverley and takes all of the traffic. And a train crossing from the one outer line to the other outer line failed right in the middle. We couldn't have picked a worse place or a worse failure to have happened, and I apologise profusely for that.
The difficulty you've got, though, this might have been particularly bad this morning, but there are a lot of difficulties at the moment with services. On Twitter today, people have been telling me that they're unhappy with the service up north, in the northeast, in Stonehaven, having commuter trains cancelled there in the last 4 days on a regular basis. People complaining about the Glasgow to Ayr line. There is a lot of discontent with your network any day of the week.
When you look at this time of the year, when we are right in the middle of autumn, leaf fall, going into winter, it's a very, very difficult time to run trains. and we're doing that relentlessly every day. There's 7,500 of us that do nothing else. We are passionate about our railway and we're not happy with where it is.
Are you worried that you could lose your contract halfway through, as the First Minister was implying today?
We are convinced that we will continue to improve our railway. In the last period, our punctuality improved by 0.3 of a percentage point, and we will continue to improve our railway for our customers.
Sylvester, thank you very much indeed.
Aileen, thank you very much.